rated E10 for ages 10 and up.
And howdy, howdy, howdy. Everybody out there watching, thanks for tuning in. Today we're talking about Trove, into the Metaforge. Atronos is going to build us some stuff based on your requests. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Eric Ocho Cleaver. I'm the community manager for Trove.
I'm Atronos, or Kumar Dayanani. I'm a designer, an associate designer on Trove.
And I'm Ted. I'm the animator on Trove.
He's also known as Dope Sheets.
Yes.
Dope Sheet.
It's an animation term.
There we go. We're going to stick with that. It's an animation term.
Yep. Look it up.
Cool. So today we're going to be building stuff live. We did this once before, or Kumar did, during his extra live stream.
That's right, yep. It's been 24 hours making all kinds of things based on your
fun.
suggestions.
And I had a lot of fun when I was able to watch that, although most of the time I was streaming myself.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a couple requests already. I know that there's been some requests for hot dog mount.
We've seen hot dog mount several times.
Yep, we have.
We have that. That one's a little bit more challenging because, you know, when we make a mount, it's a lot easier basing it on an existing sort of rig that Ted is or Dope Sheets has already set up.
Mm-hmm.
We also have requests for a turtle mount.
Turtle mount, I like that. Someone requested the recipe layer mount based on a magic carpet.
Yeah, that seems like an interesting idea. Anyways, let's get started, but please feel free to keep posting requests in. I have a little piece of paper that I will write down any requests that we see that we particularly like. If I can find a page without crazy random drawings. There we go.
Blessed Mist, yes, that is me. I am also on Twitch. I am Lobal, L-O-B-A-L-W.
Penguins. I love the idea of penguins.
We actually do have some penguins from a while ago that haven't been animated yet. They were
cool.
Sort of fanciful with big mouths.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We remember that.
Yeah.
So, what are we seeing here? Atronos, take us away.
Okay, so we have an empty thing. I actually have a cheat sheet that I keep, which is this one. And this is basically like templates for all of the equipment in the game. So you have a template for a mask, which is, it makes it a lot easier, a lot faster to start building something when you already have the general dimensions and like where everything's going to be placed and all that, right? We also have like my hollow head here, which is a head. So you can,
It's creepy.
It is creepy, but it's very useful because that way anything that goes on a head, you can just align the registroxels and then you can see exactly what it's going to look like when it's in the game.
Do you want to explain what the registroxels are?
So the registroxels is what we use to attach things to our character models. For example, anything that is based on the head, which is masks, hats, hairstyles, helmets, they're always going to be aligned to the registration point that we use as the origin point, like for animations based on the head.
So one of the users in chat just requested that we upload the cheat models and make them available.
I can totally do that.
Yeah.
We can
Sweet.
do that after the stream.
So I have that written down, and I will bug you about that later.
Yep, we will make these available to you so that you can use them to base off like your creations and everything. Then we have all our weapons, like weapon templates. This is a sword. It's 35 by 9 by 9, and again, this is where all the weapons go in the hand attachment point. So like these will be placed in the center of your hand of your character model. So here's a sword. This is a staff. The main difference, like the dimensions are about the same. The staff has a little bit more room to play around with. But staves will always have more, a larger proportion of them in the back, like hanging behind the hand. And then pistols for gunslingers. This is a basic size for.
That's the dev gun right there.
That's the dev gun right there. This is the pew pew stick.
So we're getting a fair number of requests for pirate sales. I don't think we're quite ready for pirate sails yet. Maybe sometime in the future.
Yeah, maybe come back in a
couple months.
maybe pirate sails are interesting.
Maybe they're referring to wings, like wings went into the game. Well, part of the wing system went into the game, and people are now sort of speculating on that. So
Yeah, we also got a question: when will there be more weapon types in the future?
yes,
A couple months.
I think it's safe to say that we're experimenting with new weapon types very soon.
Yes.
At some point in the near future.
Yep.
There we go. Okay, so back to building stuff.
Yeah. So,
But yeah, please do get us suggestions for everything, including but not limited to mounts. So
Yeah.
we got a lot of mount suggestions right now that I really like.
A spider mount, and Kumar made one for Extra Life, which is kind of still on my plate to animate. So we will be getting a spider mount at some point that looks pretty kick-ass, I think.
Yeah, but we definitely need ideas for weapons and hats or face items as well.
yeah, I mean, so mounts. Any of you who watch the Extra Life stream will know that mounts take a very long time to do. Just even if we're reskinning an existing model. So probably for the context of this stream, it's better if you suggest things that we can do in a short amount of time, like weapons or hats or masks. But I mean, suggestions you make for mounts may or may not happen off the stream in someone's free time or something. So who knows?
Fishbow staff?
A fish bow staff.
A fishbow staff.
Fish bow staff.
A fish bow staff.
fishbow
A
staff.
creeper-inspired face.
Uh-huh. I saw someone asking about the registration point and how strict we are with that. If it works for the animation and it works really well for the model, we do have some leeway for geo-crashing through some things.
Yes,
But for the
I
most
mean-
part, you kind of want to stick to these as a rule.
Yeah, I mean, for example, if this is a sword, right?
Yeah.
Your registration if your registration point is there, that only leaves a very small amount of room for you to work with the pommel. So it's not actually you do have some leeway for
Yeah.
this. You can put it over there, and then that will mean that you can actually do a bit of get a bit creative with the back of the sword, right? The only problem with that is, remember that the longer it is, the more chances it has of going through the ground when the knight is standing idle, because he actually holds his sword at an angle so that the blade is pointed slightly upwards, and then that means that the pommel might go into the ground when he's standing. And the final arbiter for all of this is always Grump. So I mean, when you post your creation in the creation subreddit, he might tell you to change it or make it a bit smaller or whatever. As long as Grump is okay with it, and as long as it looks good, you don't have to worry too much about the location of the registration point. Right.
So Blessed Mist had an interesting question about mirroring models because Candy Barbarian wields two melee weapons.
And they cut through some weapons with a hand shield, cut through the arm. Yeah.
Yes.
So we have tried the simple solutions to that, and they haven't worked. But we know some harder solutions that are on the list to get done. But eventually, because it is sort of just more of a visual issue, and we're trying to get all the new stuff out as much as possible. But for sure, we know that's a problem. It also happens a little bit on the Gunslinger too. Some guns aren't perfectly symmetrical, so we definitely want to. We will have tech for that at some point. It's on the plan for things to do.
Yep.
That was Blessed Mist who asked that. Yeah.
Oh, and just so you're aware, registration points always need to be exactly this color, which is 255 red, 0 green, 255 blue. Anything different from that will cause your gear to not get placed on the character correctly, and that's not good. So always double check. It's always a good idea to actually map that color and save it to your color bar. That way you always have it available, and you never have to go back and type and maybe have a error or mistake or whatever.
Okay. So we have a couple snake requests. Snake sword.
Snake swords. Yeah.
2 snake staff. Anything grabbing you so far?
I actually had a thought for a snake.
How about the recipe carpet? Is that
that one
something we
first.
could do?
Recipe carpet. So that was actually suggested on the forums, I think, it was suggested on the forums, and it was actually kind of interesting. Avram liked
Lobster
the
hat.
idea enough that maybe something might have happened.
There we go. That
Easy.
now you can't tell me that mounts take a lot of time.
Yeah, done.
So yeah, this is the recipe carpet, which is not in the game yet. Avram still has to approve it. Grump still has to look at it and say, "Oh yeah, I like it," or "Yeah," or "No, I don't like it." But we have a beginning for it.
Yeah, I might have to slightly change the animation or have nodes for just this one because the carpet's corners sort of do this thing in their animation where a scroll wouldn't. They'd be rigid down the ends there.
So what I did was
it's a broken scroll.
Yeah, I tried to keep it as close to the carpet model.
Yeah,
And then just added a little bit more geometry to make it look like a scroll.
Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, I mean we can always get together and see what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. All right, so that one's done.
So do you like that? Is that good?
Yeah, they want it. Praise the devs.
Okay, so you were talking
Cool.
about snakes. I actually had an idea for a snake axe that I wanted to try making.
Okay, well, it
So-
looks like we're making an axe.
Yeah, so I mean the Canny Barbarian needs a lot of love in the sense that we don't have that many axes compared to everything else.
Yeah.
And if you're a Trove creator, hey, here's a hint of something that people might like and appreciate.
So you're doing there. You're sort of just getting the outline of a snake. It looks like.
Yeah,
Is
so
you,
you can actually do things like, for example, here is a plane, right? So you
Yeah.
turn and you. So you can actually get, for things like swords and axes, you can actually just work in 2D
Yeah.
and then expand from there once you're happy with the general shape. And
Yeah,
this
you
is
can
very
sort of work from the side and then also work from the front. And it'll sort of fill itself out if you do it right. Yeah, that's pretty neat.
so. So we can do something like this. We can give it like a cool snaky shape. Do something over here, maybe like in the pommel, so it's not so straight.
A little rattler or something.
Maybe we can give it like a
Uh-huh.
hand guard or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe do something like this. And then once you have the general shape and you like it, you can be like, okay, like how can we make this an actual 3D thing, right? Because that's what we're working with. So it's like.
Yeah, I can't see the name there. Danny Palacios 24. You can use. There are a bunch of other voxel editors. There's even a free one. Someone linked to the Trove forums that I believe they're working on themselves.
Yeah,
That was really amazing.
Really
That's
impressive.
really impressive.
And they're updating it too. I'm sorry I forget his or her name, but it's very, very cool that
Yeah.
people are doing that.
I mean, it works. It's actually an HTML5 browser-based editor, so you can actually load I think you can load blueprints directly into it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it'll load our game blueprints. It'll respect our type maps, our style maps.
Yep.
It's very nice.
Yeah, it was really impressive. That's something you can try out. So yeah.
Yeah, it looks like you're opening the mouth sufficiently enough to have some fangs and a tooth, or a tongue. I mean, I'm just reading requests here. You're gonna get a lot of backseat builders.
That's
I
cool.
am literally the backseat builder.
I love the idea of a cookie dragon mount.
Cookie dragon mount. That
Yeah.
sounds pretty cool.
That is, I think it just fits so well with so many places.
Cookie
Yep.
dragon.
Cookie dragon is definitely. What rig could we base it off of, or would we need a new rig? What do you think?
It would probably need a new rig.
Yeah.
We have a dragon creature, but for mounts, I don't think I think we'd want to do something new and fun.
Yeah, probably.
If you give a dragon a cookie.
Dragon a cookie. He'll want more, and the world will end.
I do like the idea of a needs more cowbell item.
So someone made a really good bow tie. I'm wondering if maybe we could use that same principle as making a mask, and it's basically just a cowbell that hangs at your neck.
That could
That
be
could
cool.
be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not 100% convinced about this shape. Yeah, we can get back to it. So one of the nice things is, if you're working on something and you're not like in a good place, or you're not quite getting the shape you want or whatever, you can always just like let it go and come back. So let's hold on to this basic shape for the time being,
Okay.
and then
Let me know if you want some other requests. I have a bunch written down.
cool.
Pick a category.
How about hats?
Hats. A lobster hat.
Lobster hat. That sounds really good, actually.
I've
We
never
also
seen a
have
lobster hat.
a request for a big red super girly bow, which we have a few things that are sort of like it, but definitely there's some room there.
Yeah.
A bandana hat.
Nice.
And I'm just going to throw it in there. A cowbell hat, because
Cowbell.
it needs more cowbell.
Cowbell hat. Let's see. What can we do?
So
I think a lobster hat would be good. A bandana hat. A bandana hat might be a little hard if it wasn't a helmet, because the way we do our faces, they have to just sit on the front of the face. The way we do our hats, they sit on the top of the head. Helmets can fully encompass the head. So maybe a banana helmet.
Banana helmet.
A bandana helmet. I
think
cannot
I,
talk
I,
to that.
I think you should add banana helmet. to the
Banana
list.
helmet. Let's add that, please.
I have it on the list. Banana.
I will be
helmet.
wearing that on my
Banana helmet.
character.
Can players make helmets right now or no?
No, not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no.
Yeah, right now, players, you can make everything on this template
Yeah.
except the helmet.
I did not realize that.
So gangster hat and octopus hat are also on suggestions.
Octopus hat. We actually may already have an octopus hat.
We do have an octopus hat.
Okay.
just
It was
not-
one of our earlier ones.
We
I
do?
think. Yeah, the octopus hat. Yeah,
We do?
yeah.
I know we have an octopus hat, but it's not. You can't actually get it in the game yet.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of a different one.
Or he's using his dev hacks.
Yeah. It's like,
No, I could have sworn I had one in game the other 6 months ago.
interesting.
Yeah,
It might be the one. It might be the one I'm thinking of
Okay.
as well.
maybe you can't get that in game.
Yeah.
Cool. But lobster hat.
All right, yeah, we'll do lobster hat.
All right, let's do lobster. So let's see.
Now, do you usually work getting the shape first and then do coloration?
Yeah, usually. So like this is why all my templates are dark gray, because this dark gray you can actually see like where all the boundaries are, no
Yeah,
matter
the
what the
lines show
lighting.
up really well on it
Yeah.
in this program too. If you use a really light color, I find you sort of just lose faces and
Yeah, so if depending on the color you use, like for example, if you use this color, if you you can't see where the edges of things are if you're like in the unlit parts of the model. So that's why I like to use this gray, this like slate gray. And yeah, like usually I will focus on doing the shape first and then worrying about the color later.
Okay.
So lobster hat. Let's see what.
So another thing you probably aren't doing here that you usually do is you like to find a lot of reference. The internet is great. You just go to an image search and you can find tons of whatever you're looking for. So right now you would have half a screen full of lobsters opened up, which you really can't do. Maybe I could look them up on my phone for you. You want
I mean, I can get a basic approximation.
All right. We all know what lobsters look like,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Rock lobster.
Kind of sorta.
Rock lobster.
So yeah.
We do have some claws already from the crab. We could probably shrink down or something. Well, you made that crab, so it'll wind up looking the same.
Yeah. So I probably want to make them a little rounder and a little squarer, like rounder in the sense of not as detailed. Because since it's a static thing as opposed to an animated thing, it's not
it's smaller resolution
as
there,
much
too.
of a problem, I don't think. So yes, I mean, if you think about a lobster, it has a long, kind of curved shell. So what I do is like start off with, okay, so this is going to be the back. This is where the tail is going to be. Then try to get like a nice smooth curve to the to it. So like it goes like this, and then you can have 3-in-1. So 3-in-1. Oops. Yeah, 3-in-1. Then do this. Then like here's where the head will go. You could probably like keep it all nice and squarey. And then I'll worry about the exact shape of the head later. But this is a good enough approximation for now. You know, it looks like a lobster, right? You could go on your plate. And then we start on the claws.
So the program we are currently using. This is just Kumar's particular preference.
Yeah, I've been using this for over a year now, and it's what I'm versed in. What does everything that I want. But there's tons of programs out there. There's Magic Voxel. There's Zoxel. There's if you look on our forums, there's that web browser based one that is also very, very good. And people have been making stuff for Trove ever since early alpha, and a lot of people haven't had to pay any money. So if that's a concern, there's free options. There's all kinds of things you can do if you're interested in voxel creation.
Someone says it looks like sushi to them. Well, you're very close.
Yeah, like
Wait until we color it.
Yeah.
Someone was also asking about animation on hats and weapons and items themselves. We don't really have that working. It's something we could probably do in the future for very special items, but probably not for most items, because there's just it's such a layer of extra things that have to be every single front has to be loaded.
It's also a performance hit.
That's what I mean.
If the game has
memory,
to keep So, I mean, we did do those animated decor bits for Shadow's Eve, and those were pretty popular. But even those, they came out. We placed those in the hub. You couldn't get them. You couldn't make them precisely because of performance issues. So I mean, if we had a ton of animated hats and everything, then people's frame rates would suffer.
So one of the things that we do have a little bit of a limitation on is so Kiwi Dream had asked for a knit hat that comes down and covers the ears.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Can they descend over the face?
I don't think so, because of the way that our hairstyles are sliced.
Yeah.
So eventually revisit that system, but right now it's working pretty well for most things.
So this is the base model for a hat.
Yeah.
Right. And so this is the bounding box for the hat. So your hat can actually go this far out to the sides and this far out forward. And if you want for something that's amazing, you can go all the way up here, right? But anything below this line is going to clip into the hair, right? So because if you look at the other nice thing is this, right? Here's a very base hairstyle. So anything that goes under the brim of this particular hat will clip into the hair, and that's not something that we want happening, because then you get Z fighting, it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
So
that has the same sort of problem that's been asked. Somebody's requesting a hood in chat. That sort of runs into the same sort of issue as well. A hood might be better done as a helmet.
Most things,
as
most
a
of these big things will fall under a helmet category.
Yeah.
But for example, like the bandana hat that someone suggested, there's no reason why you couldn't make a hairstyle and then add the bandana to the front of it, and then what will happen is you will be able to see the bottom of the bandana when the hat is worn with it, so it looks like you have a layered look.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's just built into the hairstyle.
Yeah.
Which is great. That's a good idea.
Yeah, similarly, if you want, we do have one of our early hairstyles from, I think it was from Kritoriani, was actually like a knit hat with the hair underneath, and it was actually a hairstyle. Mm-hmm. So the way that would work is you would that would go on your model, and you would see the knit hat underneath the hat that you were wearing. So something like that might work. I don't know if we moved away from that, and we just want
discrete pieces.
Yeah, hairstyles to have maybe some ribbons or something, but not actual hats attached to them. But I mean, that's definitely a good thing to try out and post on the creation subreddit and get Grump's feedback on. I mean, if it looks good enough, he might accept it, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's always his call, right?
Cool. I like whatever you built there on the left, by the way.
This thing?
No, just all of it together. Yeah, it's a new shadow helmet.
That's right.
Okay, but back to Mr. Lobster.
Mr. Lobster.
Oh, and not letting my screen go blank.
Yeah,
He's still broadcasting? All right.
There we go. Okay, we got chat back too.
Sweet. So yeah, so this looks lobster-like, right?
Yeah.
It's. I mean, it's a close enough approximation. Once I have some reference material, I'll probably go back and make it more lobstery, right? So the other nice thing I really like about Cubicle is you can do this. You can copy something, duplicate it, mirror it on the x-axis, and then make it happen. And you have a lobster with 2 claws.
Symmetry.
Symmetry! Symmetry is awesome because it lets you do half the work. And you get the full result.
There we go.
I'm a huge fan. I like symmetry. So this is a close enough approximation. We probably want to color it red at some point. Oh my god.
That might be
It's a radioactive lobster.
yeah. That is
A very loud lobster.
that is more lobster color now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it probably wants to be like a little darker with like highlights. Yeah, I mean, this is also like a good primer on coloring stuff. You'll want a base color for the most part, and then do some highlighting work. It's like to. So for example, a lobster's shell is segmented, but it's very hard to get that fine level of granularity in the detail.
In the
So
geo, yeah.
Yeah, with voxels. So instead of doing that, what you can do is, so let's say, take the base color, make it a little darker.
So does it matter for if a model is hollow or filled for performance reasons at all?
For performance reasons, they should be filled. Yeah.
So
Okay.
here is the hat, right? This is the hat we have. You'll see it's actually filled in. If you look at this thing over here, you'll see that it's actually solid all the way through.
The thing on the left is a cross section
Ah,
Yeah, this on the left is a cross section from the top.
that he's moving.
So
up
you
and
see
down.
this is the rim of the hat, then this is the hat as it goes up, and then you see the crazy twig thing that we put there.
okay.
So yeah, we do prefer things to be filled out, just because if you haven't seen, if the camera is panned at a certain angle or whatever, and you can actually see the hollow, then that's that much more work that the rendering engine has to do. Whereas if you just have a solid thing there, it's like, oh, this is just one surface, and I can just draw it and be done with it.
So you were saying about the shell segments. You'll change the color to basically draw in the shading of what it would look like.
Yeah,
for each
exactly.
segment.
So, oops. Exactly. So, like to infer the segments, like where the plates link, you can do like these little bands of darker color, and that will basically pretend to be the segments of the shell without actually having to model each segment individually and having to like try to get it to work by deleting a voxel and making it look like he's being sliced up for sushi already.
Yeah, color helps a lot in these.
And
At the same point, you don't want to make it too noisy. You don't want to pick colors that are really different and put them right next to each other.
Yeah.
You want to sort of just make it, keep it as simple and natural as possible, sort of for the aesthetic that we have.
yeah, something that's actually really been really useful for me from like pixel art is, for example, if you wanted to infer shadow in pixel art, a beginner might just go, oh, like here's
Shadow,
black,
dark,
and
yeah.
make it black and make it like super bold and stand out. And it's like, yeah, but no, you don't really need to go this far, right? As long as if you take the base color and then darken it somewhat, and then if you want to be like super like technical, you can actually like try to make it a colder color.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so, in this case, approximating more towards purple. That will actually have the same effect that you're looking for without actually having the super 16-bit looking, like, dark outlines on everything, right? So, yeah. And, you can use this same treatment here. Maybe that's not the best color, but we'll fix it later. Yeah, and then you can do the same for like all the segments on the lobster claws. At some point we'll also want to do another shading pass just to make the stuff near the bottom darker and the stuff near the top lighter, just to give it that more finished look.
I love that idea. Habanero hats and mounts that make you cry.
VFX emitters in your eyes.
Just remember, all this has to be approved by Grump.
And as his name would imply, he's
No.
actually very
No,
good
he's super chill.
at accepting stuff.
Yep. In
He
fact,
has
he
this
might.
amazing ability to just keep everything looking. He just makes little changes here and there, and everything sort of looks like it belongs in that world.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So you also notice that I've like this is it's a very it's a rough approximation of a lobster shape, but it's also very very square, right? It's very blocky, and that's actually from Grump's feedback. He actually wants things to be blocky approximations of things rather than to be like super accurate, like rounded off edges and stuff. So if you can make stuff more blocky and more cutesy, that's also like more points in the bag for you for your submission.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good approximation so far, I think. I mean, I definitely need to look at some reference material to get like the final shape of the tail and the final shape of the head. I do
Maybe try some antlers, or not antlers, feelers, or whatever you call them.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Those are hard to do in that resolution, though. You'd have to do some
Yeah, I mean,
diagonal block stuff.
probably not diagonal blocks. I mean, so that's something else. Like, if you can avoid it, let me see if I can find the right. Yeah, if you can avoid it, try to avoid things that are connected diagonally like this.
Okay.
Because Grump actually doesn't like that the way that looks. It doesn't fit the style.
It's not the clunkiness. Or
Yeah,
the
exactly,
blockiness,
like- Even if it has to be something like this, it's more like
Right.
clunky and square and stuff. That still matches the style better.
Yep.
Right. And I don't know that lobster feelers do this exactly, so I'm just gonna leave them for the time being. But yeah, like I can leave the buds here. It's like, hey, remember to put feelers in.
all the
And
feels.
then we can do like a little another thing is like if you want a really really dark color, you want 10 10 10 is the darkest that we use, just because it's dark but it's not like absolute black, right? In any case, like try to avoid using that. Only use it for like if you have like a gun, it has like a barrel, then the inside of the barrel like can be that color to insinuate the darkness and stuff. But if you can avoid using like super black, then try to avoid black.
You made a
back.
really evil-looking lobster here.
He's not evil.
Malicious. Right there at that angle, it looks pretty evil.
Well, it looks like he has horns because the feelers aren't built out.
Yeah, that's
yet.
true. Yeah. Yeah, lobster feelers are long. I don't know if they go back or front but yeah. So here's a lobster.
Okay, so that'll have some further iteration on it
Yeah.
down the line.
Yeah, I mean,
Look for it soon.
like that. I mean, that orange is not great. I think they're closer to pink or something. But yeah, but that's something else. Like, it's always better to work from a reference piece than to just like, hey, this is what I think it looks like, so I'm just gonna invent it like from my head, right? It's like image search on Google or like whatever your browser is. Any of these things is always like super useful
Yeah.
when looking for reference material. Round this guy off a little bit there. Maybe. But yeah.
All right. Do we want to do start another one?
Yeah, let's start something else.
So one of the ones that I am partial to
Mm-hmm.
is an alien that likes to hug faces
Ah,
that is
yes.
completely legally distinct. But an alien that has an intense desire to hug faces, face item.
So we actually have something along a similar vein to that already in the game. It's called the arachnope. No, that's not. It's not. It's not arachnope. It's overly attached arachnid, and it's actually a spider that just like sits on your face there.
Okay, let's see what else do we have in the.
But we can do something like real quick. Try something new and different for that.
Yes.
See. So we like.
A creepy green guy face item has also been requested.
I've
Creepy
seen
green guy.
something like that.
We
But we
do
can
have a. You remember those like old? So like you know what a gray is, right? In terms of aliens,
Yeah.
the gray
Any
alien.
XCOM fan would know.
So we have an item in the game that is basically a glow-in-the-dark version of a gray alien face.
It's just the typical sort of teardrop-shaped alien face with big eyes.
With the big green eyes, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really cool because actually like it's a glowing green color, so it's like those old glow-in-the-dark paints you had in the 80s. So it's pretty amusing.
Yeah, I like that one.
I think I can't remember who made that.
It was one of our earlier
Yeah.
submissions, if I remember.
Mhm.
Yes.
So yeah, like the when trying to do like a face hugger type of thing.
An alien that likes
Sorry,
to hug faces.
A face liker.
A face liking alien of non-denominational values. The problem with it is like, so faces are 10 by 10, I believe.
Yeah.
In terms of like height and width. So it's it's very hard to get like very, very fine detail.
Yeah.
Right? So I guess.
So one of the things that was suggested in this case was it had a tail that coincidentally wrapped around the neck.
Again,
But we do
it's
have
helmet
neck
territory.
items.
We do. Yeah, that's right. We do. We have but is that attached to the face? I
No,
guess it is.
that's
yeah,
a face
those are
item,
collars. Yeah. Yeah. So I think we could probably do something like that.
We do have a couple of like chin/neck items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't normally do this, but for things like that are like super, super special and super, super unique, you can actually go beyond the edges of the face and like to the sides or down. But I mean, don't just habitually like suddenly like start making everything below the thing because below the chin. Because for most masks you don't need it. But for example, in this case, yeah, we could try doing something like that.
That's great.
The only bad thing is masks can't wrap around the head. They are only like they can only go from the surface of the face forward.
How are we doing collar? There is a collar.
Yeah, there's a collar. Interesting. We'll have to take a look at that.
Yeah, we'll have to look
So there's a bow tie.
No, there's
Oh,
a
no.
spike collar.
Spiky collar.
There's a spike
yeah.
collar.
At least, and yeah, there's something else.
I know. I had it equipped forever.
Yeah, I remember.
I think that's the face. I think that is the face.
Yeah.
We maybe made some size exceptions for that.
Different
So
makeup styles for
that
face
was
masks.
that
would
was
be nice.
made by Grump, like
Yeah.
super early in the game, and I don't think we have anything else quite like it anymore.
Okay.
Does it wrap around the head?
Yeah.
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 I'm pretty sure it does.
It might actually be
Oh.
colliding with some Geo or something like that. We have to look into it. But
So I mean, the way it would
Fine.
work, just from the context of doing something from this, is
Would glowing eyes be a performance issue?
no. As far as I know, I mean, it's just one of the shaders
So
we have.
could somebody use glowing box on a face item?
I think so.
yeah, we
yeah.
actually have a number of eyes that are glowy.
And there's glass, transparent stuff is fun to use too. Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
just like that. That's the
Yeah,
the
so
color.
it's like that. I'm pretty sure that's the only item like that in the game, and I
Okay.
don't know that. I don't know that we would accept anything that did that anymore, right? Because that was made, like I said, that was made by Grump, and there are a few certain things that we do keep we do them internally, like the helmets. That might be follow that same case. I'm not exactly sure. Grump would be the person to ask about that.
Scary clown face. I've got that on the list now.
Scary clown face.
Any clown face is a scary clown face.
I have a gingerbread face on my character right now. It's great. It's really creepy. Tasty.
So yeah. So
I do have the bouncing eyeball written down for the record.
Oh, as a mount.
Yeah, as an eyeball bouncy ball, magic or the 8-ball.
Eight
Bounce
ball.
ball.
That's good. We're getting a lot of mileage out of those bouncy mounts. That's for sure.
Yeah,
the eyeball would have been great for Halloween.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe there was talk of doing one, but we didn't do it because we already had the pumpkin,
Pumpkin, yeah.
and we didn't want to overuse the bouncy ball. So yeah.
There we go.
Face cuddler.
Yeah, the face cuddler.
Cuddler. He's so cute. He just wants hugs.
And I'm a great fan of the manatee as well, Drager.
Manatees are
Yes.
We
So
like
yeah,
manatees.
So you know that
Their natural predators are propellers.
Yeah.
poor manatees. jeez.
Poor man.
So that meme of the sad cat, and he's like, "Can it be hug times now?" He's
Yes.
like, this guy is that guy.
That's his flavor text. I think you just made it up right there.
Yeah.
There we go.
It can be hug times now.
Atronos, for many of you who don't know, he comes up with a lot of the flavor text and names most of the items that go into the game. So, I don't know. I find I have a laugh at an item name at least once every time I play. So, many thanks to you.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice to hear.
Yeah, it does not go unnoticed.
Yeah, I mean, the purpose of the flavor text mostly is one to like try to build out the lore of the game somewhat, but like that's in equal parts. It's also like trying to get people to laugh or smile, or it's like, oh, that's funny, or that's clever, or cute, or whatever. So it feels good when people tell you that. It's like, oh, I really like this item because it had a funny text. It's like, oh, that's cute. So yeah.
All right, do we want to do one more thing? So we got a face. We have a
Sure.
Well, we have the
staff.
basis for face, basis for hat,
Yeah.
basis for the
Maybe
snake
do
weapon.
a gun. Did we have any gun suggestions?
We didn't hear any gun suggestions.
Or
Although somebody had
swords?
said that the lobster might have some gun application.
Sure. Lobster guns? I don't know. We've already done a
let's
lobster,
see.
though. Let's see.
Yeah.
Pizza. Someone
Or
suggested
maybe not a
pizza
gun.
slice.
Pizza
Flock of
slice?
seagulls here.
Pizza slice gun.
Pizza slice gun. That'd be funny.
Pepperoni popper.
Pepperoni popper. That's a pretty good name. Let's see. How would I do this? So again, I mean, these are the base for everything, and most of the things should stick within these things. But for example, for a pizza slice gun, which we haven't seen yet, I don't believe
I don't think so.
We
Might
can be
have
like,
to go wider on that, yeah.
we can make it one wider and see how that goes, see how it works. How does that look pizza-y enough? Everybody likes pizza, right? Make it a little bit longer.
Number
maybe.
one foam fan finger gun.
I could have sworn someone had done that. If that hasn't been done yet, we totally need
it
that.
has been done. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's actually in the game already.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So let's see. So we have a slice of pizza. Do we want like a thing underneath?
Do we have a trekking through the stars laser that kind of sounds a little different gun?
trekking through? We have a couple actually. Back in the day, there's actually like from really early in alpha. We have at least 2 or 3 star walking lasers. I believe one of them is the Scottish Beamer.
See what I mean? That's good.
And and then there's one other one. So that's a good basic shape for a pizza.
Yes. You know your pizza.
I'm
That's
gonna make
pretty
it
good.
one higher so we can do like the delicious crust
Oh yeah,
thing.
some toppings.
Delicious crust.
There you go.
Everyone likes the cheese crust, right? If you say no, you're wrong. Delicious pepperoni slices. So yeah, basically might need to make this 2 actually, so we can have the bread texture on the bottom and the sauce texture on the top.
Oh, okay.
So
You're gonna go.
that's
Yeah.
sorry.
You're gonna. I see. You're doing a slice on the side there too.
Yeah. So
I think there is a staple gun already. I want to say there's a staple gun. I know there's.
I'm not sure that there is a staple gun.
Oh.
I actually had a thought of making a staple gun at one point a long time ago, but my brain kind of like lost the. Well, no, sorry. My watch lost the capability of handling it. I got busy.
I do like the idea of a ugly Christmas sweater costume for classes.
We do love those. Yes.
Yeah, that is a bit more of an endeavor, though.
Yeah. Well, both the Christmas Raptor and
Possibly some other new mount.
Yeah, possibly some other entity of some sort. Both of those have that. So.
Yeah.
So, I know we haven't finished with the pizza gun yet,
Mm-hmm.
but I am going to make a suggestion that we have had a couple requests for since we've been going for a little while now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to show off a little bit of the Ice Mage? Is today a good day to show off the Ice Mage?
Can we get on to our local... Yeah, I guess we can get onto the local.
This is
playtest
Kumar's
on this one.
machine.
Yeah, I believe I should be
Yeah.
able to get on local.
I think we could probably do that.
So if you want me to cut out to the full view.
Yeah.
1 second. 1 second. Yep.
You're like, no, I'm in the middle
I
of
gotta finish my pizza.
thing.
I have this thing in my mind. I can't stop right now.
Okay. Let's
No, I'm
let's
just
do that.
Okay, so I'm going to cut out to the big cam. Woo!
Party.
Hey.
New mount confirmed.
Oh,
What?
there are many new mounts that are, in various stages
yeah.
of the pipe.
I'm working on a couple right now.
Working on all kinds of things. We're
Same
always
time.
working on
Two
new
at the same
stuff.
time. Do you want to log on to
Sure.
internal?
The
playtest?
Playtest or
I think,
local?
anything with the December 12th build should have all the latest stuff.
Um,
It would be it would be Glyph internal. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, now I want pizza too.
I know.
I know, right?
And I just ate lunch.
We got free pizza the other day.
Pizza. Oh yeah,
One
that's
of
right.
our
Someone got us pizza.
one of the vendors that we're potentially working with sent us some free pizzas.
Nice.
Mhm.
That always greases
Quite
the
good.
wheels.
Mhm.
Literally.
Greases the wheels
Yeah.
with extra dripping cheese.
All right, we are installing right now, but as many of you know, it's a pretty small install. So
Yeah, it
Yeah.
should be pretty fast.
1 second.
Do you want to drive for the...
Sure.
Remember,
sure.
we are only showing part of your screen, so we have to make sure
Oh, yeah,
that.
that's fine.
Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah, you want to switch?
Yeah, let me log in and stuff.
Oh, all right.
Or do you want to log in?
I'll log in. I'll do that.
Oh, sounds good. I'm already logged
I
in.
can log in. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not logged in. There we
Okay.
go. Dude.
Musical chairs.
The sea needs sea monsters. Now, if we were to to have an ocean voyaging ruffian class in the future, that I am not confirming,
I'm not. I don't know what you're talking about.
we would probably think, every class needs an associated biome.
Well, of course. I mean,
So that might be something at the time where we would consider what sort of monsters dwell in the sea.
yeah, I mean, so the Sea of Regret is a placeholder for the time for now. I mean, it's there so we can have the difference between land and sea, right? But I mean, at some point, placeholder stuff does need to get replaced by the actual stuff that it's holding a place for. So maybe at some point, maybe I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, Kiwi Dream. I have no clue what you're talking about.
I do like the idea of seahorse mounts. I love the idea of mermaids.
Manatee class confirmed.
Manatee
Right.
class confirmed.
Yep.
I would totally play a manatee class. Really no offensive options or defensive options.
Your abilities would be float, dive, hunt for food, and your ultimate is manatee song.
Manatee song.
Undead class. I like the that idea.
Undead class.
We talked about some weird ideas for that, like the mummy class.
Yeah. Yep.
You do
Wears
have
an
like
apron.
a face, so you have an undead face that you can just select.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But you're talking about whole class with
Yeah.
some
The
sort
mummy
of
class uses a rolling pin.
necromancy. Yeah, rolling pin. Nice.
Yep.
Getting great class suggestions here.
Yeah.
Lobster class.
Dolphin mounts terrify me. Dolphins in general scare me.
Yeah. There's. I don't know if you've played that one game about the undead on the garden. and it has like undead dolphins, and they're like, it's pretty creepy,
I have not seen that.
but it's a pretty good game.
No. I'm a big fan. They're just down the street.
Yeah. One class per biome is our goal.
Yeah.
But-
So you'll notice that when we released the Candy
Can-
Barbarian.
yeah.
We released Candy Biome.
Yeah.
Fate Trickster got the Fate Wilds.
Neon Ninja got Neon City.
Yep.
So that is our goal. We're not 100% there, but the Gunslinger is definitely associated with
Frontier.
West, yeah.
Yeah.
We had nothing associated with the ice biome, which is why we have the Ice Mage coming up. Ice Sage,
Yep.
sorry.
Ice Sage.
Ice Sage.
Why you
Yeah.
gotta
Which
be,
we're about to show off right
why
now.
you gotta be spoiling stuff?
Oh, the screen is...
I still keep calling him the Ice Mage in my head.
I
'cause
know.
for so long that was its working internal name.
It's when I
Let's-
play the game.
let's
Hold on.
take a look.
Wait, hold on. I'm going to get it
Hold on a
to the right
second.
side.
Don't jump the gun.
Make sure everything's working. Yeah, it looks like everything's working. Can
Cool.
I mount? Oh, yeah, I got a mount too.
So are we ready to show them?
Sure.
I think
They've all seen it because people have picked these files out of our
Well, they've
updates.
seen it, but they have never seen it officially.
Right. So this is the Ice Sage. It's got these cool little dangly capes, and you can see you can kind of see the snow effect, although it's sort of lost in the snow effect of this biome too. But anyway, when I fire, you can see it fires these ice blasts. You can fire them pretty fast. I think my attack speed is pretty.
Now,
basic
the
right
Ice
now.
Age is interesting to me because his passive sort of has two different parts. First off, when you get hit by a blast of ice, it sort of slows you down because you're chilly.
Yeah, if you hit
And,
anything.
for anybody who hates sliding on ice, he's very sure-footed.
Yeah, here we have this wonderful ice rink that Brian built. This is a preview of the winter hub as well, the holiday hub. I don't know what we're calling it. Anyway, this guy can't slide on it, so you might not be ice skating with the Ice Mage. But,
no ice skating for you.
no. Let's find it. Actually, there are no mobs in the hub, are there? I guess we'll just go into a world. We can show off some of the abilities that we have going on. I think there might. I don't know if there's a bug on. This might be buggy. We're still working on it. Let me see if this. Yeah. So I called down an icicle, but it's not registering properly. But anyway, you can see that icicle down there, and that'll damage things and slow them too. You also have the ability to freeze, which is one of my favorite monsters. You can freeze any monsters around you. Let's find some stuff.
So the freeze effect is really cool because not only does it freeze everything around you, but any damage that's done to the mobs that are frozen is applied at the end when the freeze wears off.
Yep.
So I got
And multiplied by a small amount. So it actually just dramatically
Right up by
increases the
this
amount
guy.
of damage you're doing.
I got that guy on a jump platform. He's gonna just hang out for a while. Okay, so I got this guy here. If I have my timer on my freeze is not up yet, and I don't have any health potions, this is not gonna go well.
Any flasks.
Any flasks? Sorry. Let me get out of here. Oh no.
Freeze
Oh, no.
stuns and roots enemies.
Yes. Let me just put my cornerstone down.
Raging Lunacy, he's actually very anchored.
There we go. There we go.
Yes.
Get back here. So okay, now I can show off the freeze ability. So run up on this guy. What you got? He's not noticing me. Hello. Wake up. There, he sees me now. Okay. So boom, freeze. He's frozen. What are you gonna do?
So he's stunned and rooted.
Stunned and rooted. I can shoot him a bunch, and then when he unfreezes, he takes all that damage right there.
Yep.
I have a shield as well that I can put up. Oh, that just ate. It's a one-hit shield, so I can take one damage.
Is
or
it one hit right now?
I'm pretty sure it's one hit right now. We're still tweaking stuff. So no,
Yeah.
this is.
The last time I checked in, I think it was at 2 or 3.
I am really weak for this zone. I can fix that.
Level 9,000.
Ah. Let's see if I one-shot stuff now. Anyway, that's kind of a good demo, I think. I'm sorry I can't show off the icicle drop more, which is actually a lot of fun. We're working on that right now.
Yeah.
Freeze. Oh.
And the ultimate is the freeze ability.
I love the
So the icicle drop, it reminds me a little bit of the ice chrome cone, but it
Yeah.
works a little differently. But that's a much more common ability that he'll be using.
And you could see that guy was trying to get to me, but he couldn't hit me because I was freezing him the whole time. So, haha. Here, let's see if I can freeze this guy. No. See how slowed down they are? Yeah.
Yeah. And your shield also
shield.
speeds you up.
It does, so you can kind of get out of stuff pretty quickly.
Now, this is a class I might actually consider building movement speed on.
Yeah, movement speed would be good. Can be all over the place and they'll never catch you.
Someone's asking if this is the default skin for the Ice Sage.
I
And
think it
yes,
is.
it is. This is the default
Yes.
skin. There will be a couple of costumes for it, and they are both very sweet looking.
Yeah. So yeah, that's this guy. Actually, can we show off the costumes? I think we might be able to. Let's get in the daylight here. Well, let me get my gear. I left my gear on the ground. Oh
You
no.
left your loot.
Boom, it's daylight. All right, so this, oh, not that. Costumes for this guy. This is the base one. Ooh. And then as you level up, you get some better colors, and you get slightly transparent shapes, like you can see through a little bit. You get this one unlocked. Oh,
Wow, I really like
that's
the
nice,
level
yeah.
20.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah, it looks
iridescent,
very
you'll see
regal.
through. Yeah, very nice. If I don't say so myself. And then we have some secondary skins.
Mm-hmm.
Black ice. That'll go well with the winter pinata.
I
hat.
see that one being very popular for some reason.
And the nice sage.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
That is amazing.
Day glow purple or pink. Yeah, that is quite awesome.